What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching another video, and we are talking about Skeleton Crew episodes 1 and 2 today, and there will be spoilers. First of all, I like the show so far. In love with it? Can't say that yet, but it's kind of how I felt about Andor when it first came out. I'm waiting for the exposition to end to get to the meat of the show. But speaking about the exposition, I like what they're setting up. This, in my opinion, is what Star Wars should be. Characters exploring the galaxy, getting into trouble, becoming a family. What it also should be is a connected story. It seems we are getting that connection from Skeleton Crew to Episode 7, The Force Awakens, in terms of how the First Order was able to rise up and take over in the first place without anyone knowing. We follow a foursome of normal kids, Neil, Wim, Fern, and KB, who all attend the same school on At-Aten, their home planet. It's the most normal neighborhood we've seen in Star Wars, but of course there turns out to be a twist to this unassuming suburb. These kids are getting ready for an assessment test, which is meant to guide a path to your future career. Only these sound like the most boring paths, and excitement is discouraged. Like when you would say you want to be a fireman or a policeman in school, and the teacher would say, "That sounds great, but all organizations need an accountant, and that's what we've lined up for you." Maybe not quite to that degree. But guiding these children into a life of middle management and pencil pushing seems to be something deliberate that will have a future meaning going forward. Maybe we'll touch on that later on in this video. But Wim missed his assessment test because he overslept and didn't catch the shuttle to school. He tries to take a shortcut he'd seen Fern and KB take the day before, but he gets lost and stumbles onto a hatch he believed to be a Jedi temple. Explaining this to his dad once he's back at school, he's sent home to study for the retest and told to not go near the hatch again. But Fern is in earshot, and she kind of goads him into going back there. He wants to discover what's ever in it first and doesn't want some girl to beat him to the punch. So he grabs Neil, promises they won't get into trouble, and they go off to see if they can figure out how to get inside the temple. Heavy quotation marks on temple. But the girls end up finding the hatch as well, and they have a claimsies fight over it, which the girls of course outsmart them in. After making the boys dig out the hatch, the mechanically inclined KB gets it open and they begin to explore. Getting split from the group, Wim seems to find what looks to be an upside down cockpit. After being instructed not to touch anything, he of course pushes the bright green button, which is the ignition of a starship. They race to the hatch to see what's going on outside, only to see that the ship is taking off and starting to make itself right side up. Wim's father, who had been looking for him since he noticed he wasn't at home where he told him to be, sees the kids on the ship as they struggle to get everyone back inside the hatch. The ship takes off, and Wim's dad tells the security droids that the kids just broke through the barrier in the starship. Then we find out that it's illegal for starships to enter and exit the planet, and the supervisor will not be happy about this. Meanwhile, in space, the kids are seeing real stars for the first time, and we figure out that they've also never been able to leave At-Aten. So what is this place? Best guesses so far is it seems to be a hidden planet, run as an organization or a company where adults are all working for the same firm and the kids all go to one of 3 schools. I only say that because the patch on Neil's jacket looks like a Omega symbol, which means there could be an Alpha or Beta school or a Gamma school, but it also may be a Libra symbol, which might throw the whole multiple school thing out the window. But all we know for now, it's a hidden planet that has access and still uses the old Imperial credits, which haven't been seen in the galaxy in years. The New Republic, who is in charge of keeping order at the time, has changed the currency already. We see this in the opening montage where the pirates attempt to take over the ship for the credits they assume are on board. But once inside, there is one credit with the rebellion symbol on it, in the middle of the floor for some reason. A mutiny occurs and they lock up Captain Silvo, who was the leader of the mission, or the reason that they were searching for the credits on that ship in the first place. But back to the planet. I think the planet houses all the other currencies from past regimes and might be some kind of exchange hub, or better yet, secret facility that was able to collect past currency and is riddled with the Imperial remnants. Meaning they are creating a path to not only fund, but staff a future First Order with loyal white-collar workers to ensure a smooth takeover and transition. My question when I saw The Force Awakens was, how did the First Order just come out of nowhere? And if they didn't come out of nowhere, why weren't they stopped in their infancy instead of being allowed to build a planet-killing weapon? At least what we're seeing now is an opportunity to see what might have happened if there was a secret facility somewhere, funding and training the First Order right under the New Republic's noses. Since we've already seen a bureaucratic, red tape version of the New Republic in The Mandalorian, which starts a year after the Skeleton Crew on the timeline, it's not that far-fetched. The kids end up on a pirate outpost courtesy of their droid first mate SM-33, or Shmi, to make fun of the Captain Hook character. They asked to go to the spaceport to find directions, and he took them to a pirate one because, as he explains to Fern later, we're also pirates. As people ask where they're from and the name At-Atin keeps getting heard, it's obviously that people A, have heard about it, and B, don't believe it exists. So our new wolf captain from the opening sequence approaches the kids and throws them into the brig because Fern is a little mouthy and he thinks that they'll be ready to talk in a day or two. While behind bars, they meet a man who says that he can help them and all he wants in return is to go with them. He then proceeds to use the Force to pull a key inside the cell to his hands. End scene. Now, from the way the pirates get about hearing At-Atin, it sounds like a lost treasure story that no one believed to be true. But now, as they see those old credits in mint condition, they believe it may exist somewhere and the kids will be able to guide them there. So the theory I like is that people running this world were set up by the New Republic and just maybe an Imperial loyalist who had been rehabilitated by the amnesty program in Mandalorian that works to keep this world hidden and starts to set up what we know to be the First Order. Maybe. And the credits they hold on At-Atin to be exchanged or used for whatever are really being funneled to create the First Order. Since it's illegal to enter or exit the system, it's obviously happened before, like the reason McDonald's coffee cups say hot liquids inside. So the legend that there is tons of credits on this hidden world might have gotten around like the telephone game. The story's just a little different depending on who you talk to. And Captain Wolfman and Captain Silver's crew could have been looking for that ship that was supposed to be transporting credits from there, and maybe At-Atin is the secret mint of the galaxy, and new currencies made there. Who knows? I'm enjoying the ride so far, and I can see the reception online is tons more positive than the last Disney show, which I think is great for the franchise. But it kind of sucks for the fan base because it's becoming more and more obvious why people didn't like that last one. It had nothing to do with the content. But if you made it this far, let me know what you think about the episodes 1 and 2, and let me know where you think it's going. Like this video, subscribe for more Star Wars, Marvel, Game of Thrones at least. My name is Crash Landon, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.